Remember when I told you guys that FMCSA was doing something great to finally protect trucking carriers and owner-operators and small fleets from freight brokers basically not paying them? And if a freight broker was to not pay drivers and their funds ran down lower than $75,000, they were going to get shut down. And I thought, wow, the FMCSA finally did something that made sense here, because the truck and carrier owner operator are the ones holding the bag, holding all the responsibility. So why isn't the freight broker held at a higher standard to the FMCSA? Well, let's get into today's video. Looks like it's going to be a big delay. So we were thinking this was going to come with the upcoming months. Well, they're delaying once again. Let's get into today's video. Mutha Truckers, welcome to Mutha Truck News. Email us on muthatruckernews@gmail.com. Want to get right into this topic right here that's in the thumbnail. Well, FMCSA back in November of 2023, they stated this final financial rule that was going to hold freight brokers accountable. And basically, they're going back on this and they're wanting to delay this until 2026, right? It says here, FMCSA proposed delay for broker financial responsibility rule. And it says the FMCSA is proposing delay the compliance date of its broker financial responsibility rule until 2026. Now, for people that don't know what this rule is, I want to give it to you right here. And we all know that the truck driver has to basically have everything. The carrier, right? They have to have the truck. They have to have insurance. They have to pay for the equipment. They have to pay for the fuel. I mean, you name it, the truck driver has to deal with it, right? And so at the end of the day, it was one of those things where the FMCSA finally came out with something that was going to protect trucking carriers and truck drivers. So this financial responsibility rule, what it was it says here, the rule takes several steps to improve broker security regulations, including the suspension of operating authority if the available financial security falls below $75,000. Basically, if a freight broker owes money and they don't have that $75,000 ready to go to pay for when it makes sense that a carrier needs to be paid, they get shut down. Because what's happening right now is basically they can have drivers and carriers do all these loads for them, and they could be holding the bag and going broke, and they don't have the capability of paying any carrier at all. And we've had this situation happen so many times, right? And at the end, they go bankrupt. They can't pay back any of the truck carriers at all. And this rule would have helped the trucking carriers out and the truck drivers and owner operators out, because as soon as their security fall below $75,000, their operating authority would get shut down. And now the FMCSA wants to delay this. So Mutha Truckers, comment down below. Let me know what you think about this. Why do you think that, I feel almost as if at times the FMCSA doesn't really have a pulse on the industry and doesn't understand what the transportation industry needs. And this one right here, I really was championing them. I thought it was a great rule. And, Mutha Truckers, tell me what you think. I'll have a article of this. People have sent me this from Landline Media. And so I'll definitely share it from there. So specifically, the rule aims to limit the asset types that can be maintained in broker or freight forwarder trust to cash, treasury bonds, and irrevocable letter of credit issued by federal insured depository institutions. Establish procedures and requirements for immediate suspension of a broker and freight forwarder operating authority registration if the available financial security falls below $75,000. Clarify when a broker or freight forwarder is financial failure or is established related requirements. Amend FMCSA regulation to add civil penalties for surety and trust fund violations of the regulations, and establish a process for the suspension of sureties and trusts in the event of non-compliance with the regulations. So it's stated here, brokers, surety providers, and financial institutions were ordered to comply with suspension rules starting on January 16th of 2025. So we were hoping that that was going to come very, very soon in the next few months. But while other aspects of the rule would take effect in 2026, now the agency wants to delay the suspension rules for another year. So my truckers, comment down below. Let me know what you guys think about this. But I just think it's total BS. And trucking carriers need to be a way. Trucking carriers need to have a way to protect themselves. And if freight brokers are just not running ethical businesses and not paying their carriers and owner-operators for the loads that they're getting done, then their authority should be obsolete, right? And so, FMCSA definitely considered this rule, but it's a crapshoot, I think.